dream I know, deep up my feelings for you. Watch.
Hello reality viewers, welcome back again to Reality Latest Gist, the home of news and politics. For this channel, we dey drop news every day and we dey react to every videos wey comes our way. And na reality news now we dey drop for this channel, and we dey also dey talk am as e be. If today na the first time we say you dey come across this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are returning subscribers, I appreciate all of una for una massive support to this channel. I say may God bless all of una in Jesus name. Amen. I get video where I want present to una this very moment, and I go to follow una, they watch the video. After we don't watch them together, make we drop our opinion constructively for the comment section. Like our videos and also share our videos if possible.
Some very interesting past weeks after this election, and obviously there are a lot of people who are not happy with the emergence of Bola Tinubu, your candidate. Those who are asking that this is a time for healing.
Well,
has your side been magnanimous in victory, though?
So the first statement that the president-elect made, you will call that extremely magnanimous. That was a hand of friendship that was extended to everybody who contested, and he also acknowledged that a lot of people didn't vote for him. But what did he say? He said, "I will be your president, and there will be no reason to differentiate between those who supported him and those who did not." That is magnanimity as a leader. We all know Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not a neophyte in this game. This was a man who put his life on the line, so to say, when the June 12, 1993 election was cancelled. So he's a Democrat of Democrats. He understands this game. He knows clearly that you win, you lose. I remember before the final result was announced, and we understand that Lagos was lost by our party then. I know what he said. He said, "It's not a big deal. Leave it. We lost it. Let's move on." That is Bola Ahmed Tinubu for you. He's a Democrat. He understands that, look, it's a game of win or lose. You remember in 2011, when we created the party SCN, this man magnanimously granted his platform to Ribadu, my big brother. We remember also in 2007 when OBJ, that's a former president, Obasanjo, was going to do anything within his power as a sitting president to humiliate, to disgrace, and to completely annihilate politically his deputy then, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former. We all knew what happened. The AC was a party, then became ACN to make it national so that Atiku can run. But as soon as he ran and lost, what did he do? He ran away. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect, is a Democrat who understands that it is not a matter of life and death. So he has been magnanimous. Unfortunately, the other side have not been. And what has happened? A lot of gullible young people have been unfortunately incorporated not to understand the danger of what they are doing. Many of us who are, I told a few days ago, if you're over 40, you will understand what Nigeria went through when the June 12, 1993 election was cancelled and annulled. It took us back several years. It got to a point, I'm sure many people listening will remember the sawdust stove that we were using. It was that bad. Our lives were not safe. Military were everywhere. So when people can wake up and start going around and asking for the military to come and give them an interim government because they lost an election, which is just 4 years that you can go and reorganize yourself, it's disgraceful. It's undemocratic. It is unacceptable. And such people should be called not just to order, but the law should take its course.
So that's the reason why I ask the question of magnanimity, whether or not, when you are in a race and there is a loser and there is a winner.
There always must be.
Yeah.
There must be a loser and a winner.
The question is if there is a camaraderie and that everyone sees themselves as Nigerians and come together and say, "Oh, I've lost, I've won, let's pick ourselves together and see how we can work together." If there are those who believe that your party is your party and you have not been able to carry the nation along, the question will be, this election has left the Nigerian people more divided. And if you look at the election, 38% of the entire vote was what your candidate got. The lowest margin or the lowest percentage any president that has been elected since 1999 have gotten. It shows how balkanized.
It was competitive.
No. I mean, if you look at the political map, you discovered how balkanized the political map has been. In the north, the south, the north central, and every other place. There is a need, isn't it, for a reach out. Do you think your candidate could do that?
I just told you that he's not my candidate anymore now. He's now the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have to put that in perspective. And he has said, and I quote him, I will form a government of national competence. Which means everybody, that's what I'm doing. Every Nigerian who is competent and who can do a job will be brought. Let me remind you one thing. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he had no reason to bring in people like Ben Akabuzi onto his cabinet because they were not Yorubas and they were not Lagosians. And he's also a Christian. Or what did he do? He saw competence in him. He was not obliged to bring people like Athawari into his government. He's from Delta State. But he saw competence in him. He brought him, my elder brother, Dele Alake, is from Ekiti State. So if as a governor of a state, he didn't say you must be a Yoruba man or from this place. He extended his hand. Why do you think as a president it will be any different? So my issue is, you said something about Nigeria has been very divided during this election. Who created it? We know the man that was going to churches who was saying, church, take back your country. We know the man who refused to, when he went to states that you have Muslims and Christians. You went to Gombe, you went to Numa, you went to Kaduna, you didn't go to Kaduna, you went to Kafanchan, you went to some other state, you went to Lagos, you didn't go to the center of the city, you were going to where? So we know who deliberately exacerbated the fault lines of Nigeria. So if they did this, you cannot blame our own candidate for what people did. We know who turned the church pulpit into a campaign ground. We know who was going from churches to churches. So when they have divided Nigerians, this is the result. So we as a party, we have won an election. And many of us are Democrats. These people that I'm mentioning their names today, from the president-elect to his lieutenant, these are men who understand nationalism, who understand that Nigeria must work for all Nigerians. So Nigeria should have no worry about the kind of cabinet and the kind of government Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to run. He's going to run a nationalistic government. He's going to run a government that will work for every Nigerian. See, let me tell you one honest truth. What do you really want as a person? Do you want to be appointed into government and then be useless? Or do you want a government who may not appoint you, but will actually work for you and it will touch your life? That is what we should ask ourselves. I know that the government of Tinubu will run in a way that it will impact positively on the lives of every Nigerian.
How do you also explain, because the opposition and the grounds on which they are challenging the election, they do not feel that the process was free and fair. They do not feel that the result reflected the election and the vote of the voters of the country. How do you describe that scenario, and how do you react to that?
Sure, I don't have a problem with you not accepting the result.
It is not me, I'm asking you.
No, I'm saying, when I say you, I mean them, the opposition. I don't have a problem with them not accepting the result. I have a problem with them trying to delegitimize our institution. You have done what a decent human being should do, which is, I didn't accept this result, and I'm going to court. Let it stop there. But when you now begin to organize your people surreptitiously on the ground, you are either marching to this place, going to the defense headquarters or the Ministry of Defense, saying let there be interim government. That is irresponsibility. We know that this democracy was achieved on the blood of Nigerian marchers, starting from Enki Abiola to his wife, to people like Ajia Suliat, to people like Nauro. So many people died. And then some people think it makes sense to say the military should come back. It is not just absurd, it is insanity. And it shouldn't be acceptable to anybody.
Please, I like not to you, for you not to
No. If we are thinking rightly, coming from where we are coming from,
I wouldn't allow you to use such words as insanity.
It is absurd.
Could you just take that word back? Insanity. This is a national television.
It's a very wise decision to make.
No, don't say insanity. Could you take it back?
I won't take that insanity.
No, please take it back.
In the sense that if you are thinking straight, you will not say let's truncate democracy because I lost an election. And I told you one thing earlier on. You cannot legitimize our institution because you lost an election. How can a candidate or his deputy sit here and say, I don't trust the court, and if you swear in so and so, then democracy has ended? It doesn't make sense. There's no way you can justify it. A democracy is a democracy. And you win an election or you lost an election, you have only one choice. That choice is to follow the rule of law. And the rule of law means go to the courts. I mean, somebody sat in this same studio, said our own 6 million was not rigged, but their 8.7 million was rigged. And you said I should say it's not insanity. Okay, it's not insanity. No. How do you explain that?
I am
taking away the word I shouldn't say insanity.
No.
But for you to say it is 6 million for me and it is not rigged, but Bola Tinubu 8.7 million was rigged
would you listen
in
to
the
me?
same election?
Just,
no sense.
Just calm down, please. I don't care what you think or believe, but I'm bothered about the manner in which you express yourself on this platform. No, not fine. I mean, we are talking about the sensibilities of Nigerians. Okay. This is a family television.
Okay. We're
People in innocent Nigerians are watching, and there are some words that are not permissible on this platform. And because I'm moderating, I will say take it back.
I have taken away insanity.
Thank you for.
But let me now say this to you. How did you come to the realization that our election was lost when every other candidate apart from your candidate won in one region and lose, and won and lose? I will give you an example. Bola Tinubu is from the southwest. He won 4 states out of the 6 states. Atiku Abubakar is from the north east. He won, I think, 4 or 5 out of the 7 states in the north. 6 states in the northeast. Only Peter Obi won the entire southeast, his own region. How did you now come to the realization that the election was rigged? Every other person either win in your region, some part, and lose, and then check the percentage of winning. Wherever Atiku won, he won 50%, 40%. Tinubu came second, 40% and something percent. Only Peter Obi won 80, 90% in his own region. And he is the one who is raising these fascists who are going around trying to create problems. Thank God I'm not making this up. Thank God the DSS have said people are planning to destroy the democracy that we earn from the blood of our martyrs in Nigeria. This should never be what we should even be discussing if we are thinking right in this country. We have a country to run. In just another 4 years, you will have another opportunity to present yourself if you think you are still qualified. So why should you want to completely destroy everything because you lost?
Now, the question here is that, and I'm not sure that anything has changed, is the legitimate right of any citizen to protest. So what you are not happy about is what is being said at the protest, isn't it?
So anybody can protest if they wish. Our own people have also gone out to march. Nobody said don't protest. But do you call this a protest when people march to the Ministry of Defense, or is it Defense Headquarters, and you are saying they should come and take over, that Ashwaju should not be sworn in? How does that make sense to anybody? A protest is not the same thing as trying to create a chaos in the country. A protest is not trying to delegitimize and destroy our democracy because your candidate lost. You can protest civilly and sensibly, but you cannot, under any circumstances, make comments, assertion, or anything that will jeopardize this democracy. We know how the entire world is looking to Nigeria to be able to help Africa to grow democratically. How are we going to grow if we've come this far and then you want to destroy it? And then let me tell you some other areas that people are not looking at. In terms of credibility of election, this election happens to be the most credible, and I'll tell you why. You just told me now that this is the lowest winning margin by 38%. We remember the Obasanjo organized election in 2007. We remember how the figures were so bogus because people can sit in their rooms and write results. Today with the beavers, you remember what former Senator Binta was talking about just now? Overvoting. Did we ever have the word overvoting before beavers were introduced? So it tells you that there was credibility in this election. Unfortunately, for the first time, we are having people on the ballot who are undemocratic, who are fascist in their nature. And when you have fascism in your head, it doesn't matter what people do. You think you're better than other people, and you think you must win because you have gone all around churches and trying to create problems between Christians and Muslims. And that is what we are seeing today.
So how do we manage this divide? There is an obvious cleavage that you can find between amongst the regions and the peoples of this country? How do we manage? Because
I can see there
just a moment. It behoves on your party that has been elected now to be able to manage the situation, no matter what has happened, whichever way the matter goes in court. Your candidate will be sworn in at some point, and the fact remains that there needs to be a management of the nation and the people of our country.
The first thing that should have been done was for the leadership of the losing party, especially the Labour Party, because I insist on them, because the PDP is more democratic. They have been in the game for a while. They understand you can lose and win. But for people who think because they have shown up for the first time they must win, it's dangerous. So what should have happened is to let everybody know that, look, we've lost an election. We didn't accept we lost the election, but we're going to court and let it end there. But every day, maybe you need to go and check the Twitter handle of the Labour Party presidential candidate. The man is still going around as if he's campaigning. And it is dangerous. You need to stop at a time. Because you are the one leading these people on. So what should be done now?
What is he doing that you don't like?
Every day he's still going around as if he's campaigning.
Like what? What activity?
Well, so just yesterday or two, he went, did one long thread, and then he was still making very incendiary statement, and his people are latching onto it. You see, there are things when you don't need to say it. You just have to allude it. Your people will get it. And because you keep making allusion to it, you are riling them up. It's a Trumpist kind of idea. It's like a Trump system. You don't have to tell people, go and burn down the Capitol. All you need to do is give them a body language or some other way, and they will do it. So what needs to be done is for these people to call themselves to order and calm down that, look, if we burn down this country, you and I have no other country to go to. When that starts, then we can start talking about healing. Then the churches, I need to talk to the pastors and the churches. I know some of them, there's a particular female minister who has gone, and you will think she's the INEC assistant, saying we reject this result. These are things that should stop. Leaders need to start talking peace, need to start talking healing, need to start telling people, look, if there are grievances, there are correct ways to handle the grievances. There are law courts. But when you go around and start saying we don't believe in the court, let's get our mandate back. How do you want to get it? By violence? Violence beget violence, and we don't want it. So the only way you can get a mandate that you think was taken from you is to go to the courts. But when you begin to say we don't trust the court, we don't believe in the court, then what are you saying? Then you're not even a Democrat in the first place. Because as a Democrat, you must believe in the rule of law. If a Democrat does not believe in the rule of law, then what is he doing being a Democrat? What is he looking for? Looking for vote. Why don't you just take a gun and kill everybody and become the president? It's as simple as that. So as a Democrat, you must understand that the rules are the rules. I mean, let me give you an example. The governor, the former governor of Osun State, still believed that he was cheated out of it. But since when have you seen the man making incendiary statement? No. He's gone to court. He won in the tribunal. He's lost now in the appeal court. He might go to the Supreme Court. That is what decent Democrats do. And if he wins, he will take his seat. And if he loses, I am sure Governor Boyega Oyetola will say, we have lost, let's get ready for another time. But when you keep going, making statements every day, still behaving like you're in a campaign mood, you're going to create problems for Nigerians. And these are what we don't want. Already the world is in a dire state. As I speak with you, I'm sure you are aware, the American banking system is on the verge of collapse. So which means there is another looming international recession. So let's face problems instead of creating problems for ourselves. These people that have lost election, I am appealing to them, go to the court.
So finally, Ayo, I follow some of what the comments are being in, fundamentally, some of these guys do not believe in the capacity of your candidate to deliver, and that's why perhaps they believe that their own candidate has the capacity to do better for the situation of our country. As your final thought on the program tonight, how do you convince and what do you do to ensure you onboard these Nigerians who think legitimately that they have a better candidate other than the candidate who
First and foremost, we know that democracy means the rule of law, which means the majority will always have his way, even the minority have their say. Now, what I will advise people who think they have a better candidate is to wait for 4 years. Check out what Asiwaju will do in his first 4 years. If you think he didn't do well, present yourself again. However, I and 8.7 million other people know that Asiwaju delivered when it was tough as the governor of Lagos State. And we know that as the incoming president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he will also deliver. So there's nothing to convince anybody about. All you need to do is check out the 36 states of Nigeria today. Which state has the best in terms of human capital development, in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of IGR, and in terms of every other thing? Then if you know that clearly Lagos is truly the 5th largest economy in Africa after Nigeria #1, South Africa, Egypt, and I think Algeria, then you know that if this man handle Nigeria, clearly we're going to have a ball.
Thank you so much.